Okay, the theme of these two episodes is major disturbing revelations. Let's see. In one's case, the revelation was blindingly obvious, and the other one, ooh, it's makes the show 1,000 times more horrifying and just oh boy. And yeah, today we're taking a look at Kamen Rider Zi-O episode 15 and Lupinranger vs. Patranger episode 44. All right, let's go and get started here with the let's go and start with the absolutely dumb and obvious revelation in Zi-O. Yeah, today we're not dealing with another writer this time, but instead we actually get to see that, yeah, Sogo is and always will be a sociopath. Yeah, our episode starts off with with Gates actually suggesting the only logical thing to put an end to this show once and for all, and that's for Sogo to give up his driver, destroy it, and thus he'll never become Omazio. But Sogo is completely deluded and thinks, no, I'm gonna keep this belt. I'm gonna make sure I become the best, kindest Davy King ever. And, well, we get to see some of that loving generosity firsthand as Omazio delivers to 2018, apparently a couple of years ahead of schedule, seven giant world-destroying robots called Daimajin. And get it? It's like the Time Machine, only they're like Megazord size. And yeah, these seven Daimajin, they scatter all over the world, like North America, South America, basically in major cities. And for right now, they're dormant. But, according to the Time Jackers, to Waz, Tsukiyomi, Gates, pretty much anyone with a functioning brain, those things are basically just waiting on a timer right now. At Omazio's word, those seven things are going to activate. They're going to completely destroy the world, and then Omazio will conquer what remains and rule it with an iron fist. And yeah, again, this is apparently a bit ahead of schedule since, in the event, it's basically Judgment Day. Yeah, Judgment Day does not. You cannot change Judgment Day. Yeah, Omazio basically sent the Daimajin back in time to 2018 to basically speed his rise to kingdom along. And coincidentally, this actually is exactly like a dream that Sogo has always had, and is the reason why he even wants to become a king in the first place. Apparently, back when he was a kid, he's always had this reoccurring dream of the Daimajin destroying everything around him, and then a mysterious guy approaches him and says, "You're destined to be king. You're basically the long and short of it is, if you become a king, then you'll be able to prevent all this." And yeah, anybody who's played Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance, or anybody who's played that game, you can pretty much just see what's going on here a mile away. The mysterious guy that Sogo saw in his dreams is the future is a time traveling Omazio. He's basically gone back in time to put this idea into his younger self's head and set his destiny in stone that he will become Omazio to prevent this tragedy from happening again by causing it in the first place and taking control of the world and killing half of Earth's population. Brilliant! Yeah, no, Omazio, or Sogo, Tokiwa Sogo, is a complete deluded psychopath. Our hero is will eventually become a omnicidal maniac. And of course, Sogo is too stupid and too deluded in his own. He thinks that he can prevent this, but no, we've seen. Later on, he's going to see firsthand all the destruction that Omazio he will cause, and it's because of that past trauma. He mentions that he keeps having this same dream over and over again ever since he was a child. Basically, this trauma of seeing the Daimajin running around destroying everything and him lacking the power to stop it's basically Sogo has basically psychologically scarred himself into becoming this omnicidal monster. I don't even know how to process. Anybody who, like I said, if you play Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance, they handled this plot point better because, yeah, when Master Xehanort sent Ansem back in time to basically put the idea in his younger self's head to leave the Destiny Islands, become a Keyblade wielder, and then start seeking the true Kingdom Hearts, recreate the Keyblade and the Keyblade War, and gather the seven fragments of light, 13 pieces of darkness, he handled this better because, again, because they actually had some rules in regards to time travel. That basically you can't change events that were already destined to happen. So yeah, Master Xehanort was always meant to leave the islands. He was always meant to become a Keyblade master. He was destined to screw everything up. Whereas in Zi-O, Oma Zi-O is sending the Daimajin back in time, and yeah, just the Daimajin, and not to mention everything with the time jackers, gates, Waz. Yeah, you're not supposed to screw around with time, otherwise you risk unraveling the universe. Yeah. All right. Secondly, when young Xehanort and all the other incarnations of Xehanort, the true Organization 13, when they went back to their respective times at the end of that game, apparently all their memories of their little escapade in the dream world was inside the sleeping worlds was supposed to be erased so as not to basically scar them with any future knowledge or whatever. And again, yeah, if you know about the future, then you can take advantage of it. But these rules are set in place so that you can't take advantage of future knowledge. But yeah, the reason why Master Xehanort even did all that and set up young Xehanort on his quest was to basically, basically subliminally, ingrained all the experiences and the desire to leave the islands into his heart. But again, or at the very least magnify that because even before young Xehanort encountered Ansem, he already wanted to leave the islands. He's made that pretty clear in the previous reports. But yeah, in Zi-O's case, Oma Zi-O has again been repeatedly slamming that message into Sogo's head, and yeah, basically it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. They're both self-fulfilling prophecies, but one is subtle, the other one is about as subtle as a sledgehammer to the face. And speaking of sledgehammers to the face, after Gates suggested that that Sogo toss away the belt, he still won't do it. And yeah, and before Gates can actually pursue this further, Oma Zi-O sends another mechanical monstrosity down to assist his younger self. It's one of Oma Zi-O's main robot guards called Demus or something like that. Or hold on a second, what was that? What was that thing? Yeah, he sends out this. Yeah, all right. He sent down. Oma Zi-O sent down his robot guard Kasharn. Kashin. Yeah, to basically go and kill Gates Tsukiyomi to prevent him from prevent his younger self from actually listening to them. But again, here's the question here, Mr. Evil Future Demon King, sir. If you had the Daimajin that could time travel back, and you had Kashin to stop Gates and Tsukiyomi from influencing Soga, your younger self, why didn't you use this sooner? Yeah, bring up the idiot ball. Yeah, if you have a resource, you're going to use it. What, did you just think that Waz was going to get the job done? Yeah, he's willing to work with the time jackers just to make sure that you come to fruition. The guys that are actively trying to kill your younger self and put their own Oma Zi-O on the throne. Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, the show is officially gone off the rails, folks. And yeah, it's perfectly reflected in how Tsukasa is acting. For those of you who don't know, Tsukasa, he's not just a one-off character from the Ghost arc. Apparently, according to an interview with Masahiro Inoue, he's sticking around. Yeah, Kamen Rider Decade is going to be a reoccurring character, most likely a reoccurring antagonist, or if we're yeah, no, mostly an antagonist or I don't even know what the hell his deal is. He doesn't even know what his deal is. He just does things just because. Oh yeah, later on when yeah, it just gets confusing here. So, yeah, so Sogo is trying to protect Gates from Cassine, while Gates is trying to kill Sogo, and Tsukasa is trying to prevent Sogo from saving Gates, and it's just and yeah, he doesn't even say why he's doing that. He's just basically I don't. Oh God, just no. I am trying here, folks. I'm trying, but it seems like, yeah, ever since I think I can figure out what happened here. Shirakura has finally started to stick his finger in the pie. He started to get directly involved because, yeah, up until like at least like the O's arc, things have been okay, but it seems like ever since the Ozark, then where Nobuhiro Mori replaced Kento Shimoyama as the head writer, if I'm remembering right. Yeah, ever since Mori showed up during the Ozark, things have just started circling the bull. Yeah, with Tsukasa back running around, and yeah, he's still using his writer forms. Yeah, this time he engages Sogo as Build for no reason. But yeah, why would you do that? You just go switching back to your default decade form anyway. I mean, why? Just so he could get another chance to use your stupid ride watch? And yeah, this begs another question. Since Tsukasa can still transform into decade, I mean, I know since Sogo has and has used the decade ride watch, why is Tsukasa even here? Why is he still decade? Is it just because he's Paradox Boy? Is it because he's so uber duper omega special? Is it because he's not from this world? Or, you know what? Whatever. I'm questioning it too much. I'm just gonna get kicked in the head by a horse. Right, Shirakura? Isn't that right? Isn't that right? Yeah, anyways, Waz, Tsukasa, and Gates are all just pretty much fed up with Sogo constantly just denying the fact that he will become Omazio. And he's like, no, I can fix this. But yeah, Waz and Tsukasa are like, yeah, no, it's time to go and give you a cold dose of reality. So Tsukasa opens up one of the dimensional rifts that he again can somehow control now. Still don't know why or how. And he sends Sogo and Tsukiyomi forward in time to 2068 to see exactly what Omazio has done to the world. Everything is in ruins, and half of Earth's population is dead because of Omazio. For 2018 to 2068, about 35 billion people, 3.5 billion people are dead because of him and his Daimajin. And Omazio thinks this is all a good thing. Yes, I have saved the world from the. Yes, I have used these unholy monsters that I've had visions of since my childhood, and psychologically scarring me to get the world into my peaceful dominion. I am the greatest, kindest demon king ever. Throwing all of Sogo's, constant rhetorics about him, being the greatest, kindest demon king right back in his face, and Sogo is still just like trying to set this all in, and yeah, he transforms and tries to fight him, but all it does is cause him to transform into Omazio's form, and yeah, just while waxing nostalgic, he just goes and smacks his younger self around. Sogo keeps using his decade ride armor's Hey Saber to replicate the powers of Heisei Rider's abilities against him, but he just pulls out a ride watch and not even inserting it into his driver, he just knocks it right back. Kuga's glyph right back at him. And let's see, Kiva's bats back at him. Let's see, Ryuki's fire. He just sends out Drag Rider to go and slam him. And I don't even know what they're doing with this anymore. Yeah, Tsukasa says that he sent Sogo into the future to finally get some clarity and basically just to make sure that he knows that he's guilty of all the horrible things that Gates Tsukiyomi. Yeah, even future Oma Zi-O is like, oh my God, have you just been in complete denial about all this? Yeah, even the deluded maniac thinks that you're completely out of your mind. Just. Uh, And yeah, you and I both know that Sogo is not going to get rid of the driver because we still have more episodes, even though, yeah, just destroy the driver, destroy the Zi-O ride watch. You will not become Oma. And yeah, even Oma Zi-O is like, yeah, you don't want this to happen? You want to prevent my utopia? Then simple. Just get rid of that belt. But you can't. You won't. Because you know deep down you want to be me. You know you wanna. Well, again, it's the only reason that he wants to is because you ingrained that nightmare into his head when he was a kid, you psycho! Yeah, no matter which way, Tokiwa Sogo is a complete diluted psychopath. And, yeah, I know eventually he's gonna figure out some bullshit way to still be a Kamen Rider Zi-O and still defeat Oma Zi-O, whether it actually changes time or something like that, but. And yeah, we all know that this takes place in a separate yeah, we already know that Zi-O's storyline is completely separate from the main universe because that's Toei's favorite cop-out to try and justify their bullshit. And also, yeah, this is just an AR world for Tsukasa to just wander through and do whatever. Yeah, just if I wasn't recapping this for you all, I mean, I'm in too deep now. I'm probably gonna keep watching it just to see how much of a glorious train wreck this thing is gonna be. But I mean, yeah, the first couple of episodes were just barely passable. They were just okay. Like, I mean, yeah, they weren't like gonna be sweeping the Academy Awards or anything like that. They weren't gonna get a daytime Emmy or anything like that. But they were at least okay. But now it's clear that the show is completely starting to circle the bowl. And again, it's in despite of Masahiro Inoue coming back because, yeah, oh yeah, I remember yeah, he does still want, he does want to kill, does want to kill Zi-O. Again, not sure if it's because he wants to prevent the Daimajin from activating, or again, I just don't know what he's doing anymore, and I don't think the show does either. So just whatever. I'm in this for the long haul, people. I might as well just, yeah, I'm just gonna strap myself in and see where this whole thing goes. Sorry. Alright, anyways, on to something that's actually at least passable. We have ourselves Lupinranger versus Patranger, episode 44. Oh yeah, hi, Show, hi there? Yes. So what's the shocking revelation this time? Oh yeah, it's the fact that the Ganglars wear human skin. Yeah, no, that's a little bit later, but yeah, it turns out that while Noel actually does come from the same world as the Ganglars, it's a little bit more complicated than him actually being half Ganglar like I theorized. Yeah, no, apparently Noel, Kogure, Lupin himself, and basically everyone who works for the Lupin estate, apparently their ancestors actually lived in the world that the Ganglars eventually took over. They were the ones who originally created the Lupin collection pieces, until the Ganglar just invaded out of nowhere, drove the natives out, and they were forced to migrate into our universe and hide out amongst early humans. So yeah, it's basically like if you're from KO35 in Power Rangers. You look human, but you're kind of sort of not. I mean, it is true from a certain point of view. Yeah. And Noel himself, he was actually descended from this exile race of, humanoids. I'm just gonna call humanoids. I mean, yeah, they look like human. They might as well be human, but whatever. Yeah, he was basically orphaned, lost his family, was basically just a street rat until Arsene himself managed to find him. Yeah, it's actually yeah. Noel explains that yeah, Arsene, who again is a descendant of these exiled humanoids, actually recollected all the artifacts that their people scattered across the globe, and you know, thus those pieces were the Lupin collection pieces. He gathered them all and he used it to grant his wish, which most likely was well some form of immortality or something like that. But I'm saying immortality and not eternal life or anything because well the Ganglars eventually managed to catch up with Arsene, killed him, and stole a more than sizable chunk of the collection pieces, and Noel was the one who found his corpse at Lupin's estate. Yeah, Lupin took Noel in, basically taught him about his heritage, taught him how to, everything about the Lupin collection pieces, how to modify them. Basically, he was basically basically the closest thing Noel has to a father, and he found his corpse. And yeah, that's why Noel is involved with all this. He's gathering the pieces to revive Lupin. And yeah, Kogure and apparently the rest of the Lupin estate are in agreement with this. And yeah, so they basically the wish is going to be bring back everyone that was killed by the Ganglars. I'm betting that's what's going to happen. But anyways, on to clearing Noel's name. Yeah, so as you can tell by now, Noel is not the leak. And yeah, my revelation from earlier, it turns out it's Satoru, or rather the Gangler that's wearing his skin. Yeah, Sakuya. Yeah, Sakuya of all people actually managed to figure out that the global police have been having leaks even before Noel showed up, reflecting back to the incident with the Black Sheep Gangler, you know, whose vault remains were taken over to the station to global police for examination. The transfer of the previously mentioned collection pieces. Yeah, a lot of stuff happened before Noel. The leaks happened before Noel showed up. And yeah, when Keiichiro was out on patrol with Satoru, yeah, well, yeah, okay, rewinding a little bit, before Satoru got transferred to the France HQ, yeah, he often told Sakuya and he often told Tsukasa and Keiichiro to basically stop and listen to their side of the story. Essentially, it's a flowery way of saying listen to their feelings and heart in the matter. But yeah, Satoru now is definitely not doing that, and yeah, that raised Keiichiro's eyebrow. But what cinched it was yeah, when Satoru was making that point, he unplugged his MP3 player so they could listen to the classical music that he was listening to get him his calm mindset. But when Keiichiro noticed the MP3 player that Satoru had, when he left it behind in their squad car, there was no music on there. He was only just pretending to listen to music, and yeah, that was more than enough of a tip off. And it's especially revealed that yeah, when they quarter when the three Patrangers quarter Satoru, for some reason, when they drew their versus changers on him, something glowy happens, and they were all pointing it at each other in a triangle like basically, all three of them were pointing their versus changers at each other and were about to pull the trigger, even though they couldn't control themselves. But yeah, that's when Noel came in and saved them. Yeah, it was revealed that the Satoru they've seen since the last episode was a Ganglar who was leaking the information from the France HQ back to Zamigo and the rest of the Ganglar hierarchy for their latest schemes, for those various schemes. Yeah, and yeah, the Ganglar managed to do this by he's a double. He has two safes on him, which gets him two collection pieces. One of them that he had was a collection piece that allowed him to control people's bodies, and the second one that he got from the idiot Gangler last time, that he stole from, was a collection piece that allowed him to change his voice. So that's how he could perfectly mimic Satoru. Okay, if I remember right, the controlling collection piece was the one he got from the Ganglar, not the voice alteration one. And yeah, basically, this Ganglar set up using his voice manipulation to disguise himself perfectly as Satoru, and his body controlling collection piece was what made Noel pull the trigger on them last time. And he impersonated using his voice changing tech. He disguised his voice as Commander Hilltop to lure Noel to the Ganglar's location, who you know that anonymous collection piece that the Ganglar got, the one, yeah, that was our disguise boy here, making it look like Noel was the traitor. Yeah, it was all perfectly staged. It was all prepped up, and yeah, they nearly fell for it hook, line, and sinker. And yeah, when they asked him how the hell did he get, why was he disguised as Satoru, and where was the real one? Yeah, the Ganglar mentioned that if he had Satoru as a disguise, the real one was most likely dead. Yeah, all the disguises that the Ganglar have been wearing up to this point, they are literally wearing the skins of their victims. And yeah, we've seen the Ganglar actually engaged in multiple kidnapping operations. Yeah, from the revelation about Zamigo's ice gun teleporting people to the incident with the the Ganglar who was making people disappear with the shark plushies. I mean, like back in like episode 9 or so. Yeah, those Ganglar were rounding up people and bringing them over to Gauche so that she could kill them and basically remove their skin to create the disguises that the Ganglar have been utilizing. And yeah, this immediately raises a red flag for me. Well, okay, first things first, that managed to completely save the show from that revelation about Zamigo's ice gun ability. Yeah, he may not have been directly involved in killing Kairi, Umika, and Tuma's loved ones, but he might as well have since he delivered them to a butcher who ripped their skin off and their skins are most likely being worn by Ganglars right now, which leads me to my revelation. One of the final challenges of the show is going to be the Lupinrangers confronting Ganglar, who are wearing the skins of their dead loved ones. And yeah, that revelation is just gonna destroy them. I mean, yeah, they could probably bring them back with the wish of the collection pieces, but yeah, still, just yeah, instead of just killing them, they oh god, yeah. So this Ganglar who has been feeding the other Ganglars information on the global police's activities is wearing the skin of their former teammate, and understandably, the Patrangers are just livid. So, yeah, they managed to defeat him, but yeah, the only time I'm mentioning with the giant form fight is that when they form Pat Kaiser, Noel actually gives them Siren Striker, so they finally have that little power boost. A little bit late, but hey, better than never. So yeah, they use Siren Striker to form with the crane and bike trigger machines to form a new combination, and they defeated the Ganglar. So but yeah, that's some revelation with the Patranger side. And as for the Lupinrangers, they understand now where Noel's coming from, and yeah, his wish is just the same as theirs, and they basically join hands together, like some iteration of that. So yeah, again, a Lupinranger versus Patranger, you managed to do a nice little swerve there. You managed to pull yourself out. It was a good call. And yeah, we just know. And yeah, looking back at the show in hindsight now, again, yeah, knowing that these Ganglars are gleefully doing these horrible acts while disguised as dead people, missing dead people, yeah, wearing the skins of dead people. Yeah, the Ganglar have just upped the ante in terms of just how. It, I don't even know the words to describe that. That is just. Ugh. I got nothing. Just they are literally wearing the skins of their victims. I don't even just Oh, I mean, yeah, they managed to regain some of the grit that they had lost with the initial revelation of what Zamigo's abilities are. And yeah, we just know that this is going to lead to some real. It's going to lead to some real heartbreaking moments there. But it's not going to happen next week because we got ourselves a stupid Christmas episode to deal with. Eh, you had it, you lost it. So yeah, Kamen Rider Zi-O, its true colors are shown. It's a train wreck. But it's one of those train wrecks where I mean, hey, I already saw like the first 5 seconds of it. Might as well just keep watching just to see how much worse it could get. Ugh, and that sounds like a bad reason, but okay, I made it past the first 5 episodes. I'm in too deep now. I have to see where it ends. And Lupinranger versus Patranger, yeah, we got some pretty horrific revelations about our enemy faction, and we learn more about our sixth ranger, who is apparently not exactly the most popular guy on the block according to some aspects of the fandom. And yeah, once we get past the stupid Christmas episode, we're gonna be back on track towards the finale. So yep, till then, see you when I see ya.